Hello and welcome back to Big Body, Bigger Mouth, the show that will make you laugh, cry, and question whether or not me, your host, Kelsey Belcher, should be allowed on the internet. Guys, we're so back. We haven't filmed in since May. It's been a minute. I know you guys are itching and scratching and miss me so much. The people's princess. I know.
Well, I missed you.
I missed you too, Drew.
It's just, here at the studios, we're going bananas.
Oh,
right?
We are going balls to the wall. Big changes.
You are crazy busy outside of this as well.
I know. For someone who's unemployed, I'm crazy busy.
Well, that's true. You had a couple of jobs there, right? You were doing a few
jobs, a few side hustles.
That sounds so wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
And you got some of these episodes that you have coming up are going to be absolutely insane.
We're going to have some guests. It's going to be good. But make sure you subscribe to 216 Creator Studios on YouTube. Hit that bell so you're notified when all of our shows are live. And make sure you hit the live tab because that's where all of our new shows are. I stuttered a bit, but you know what I meant, people. Subscribe to 216.
So the sponsor for today's show is DCCS, Dynamic Conversion Consulting Services. Hey, listen, folks, soup to nuts in business. Look for real estate, insurance, technology. They can put bodies in those chairs and insure those people and insure the property. Help you find the property. Get your technology. Anything, even on their academy, they can do anything from leadership development, sales 101 to advanced sales structures, DISC, Sigma, you name it, they can do it. And so it's a one point of communication for multiple services. If you're looking to get involved, go dccs.com. That's GODCCS.com. So what are we talking about today, Kels?
We're talking about it all, Drew. It's going to be our big, just potluck of things for our updates. So I'm pretty sure this episode's called It's Not Been a Hot Girl Summer.
Well, and that's right. So before we start this, because we know you have a history, we're going to pop this on screen real quick. Our warning. And back to those.
All right, here we are. There shouldn't be too much of a warning on this episode. Hopefully, I haven't been up to nothing too crazy, but we'll see. But we'll see what comes out of my mouth. No promises. That's why the warning's there. But so for those who don't know what Hot Girl Summer is, basically it's a term by Megan Thee Stallion that says, single shit, hook up with who you want to, date who you want to, serial date, all that. That has not been my case. This summer, I have missed probably almost every situationship I ever had for some reason. I've just been in my feelings this summer. I was talking to a guy who lived in Southern Illinois for a quick second. And we talked for maybe a week or two. And we FaceTimed all the time. He was so nice to me. And I was so happy. I genuinely was I want to date this person, even though he lives 3 hours away in buttfuck Illinois. We are too, but this is one road, one gas station kind of place.
They have the one stoplight that flashes.
Right, the one stoplight and an outhouse in the back of the baseball field.
The mayor's also the barber and your local
and also the bartender. Right. Exactly. And so, he was super cute, super nice, whatever. And then one day I just get blocked out of nowhere. Okay. Out of nowhere. I wake up from a nap. I'm blocked. And I'm okay, all right, what the hell just happened? I was sad all day. I threw on this song from TikTok called this as a guy written song, whatever. I bawled my eyes out in my car. I was hysterical. And so then I was mad at myself because I'm why am I hysterical over this idiot guy that I talked to for 2 weeks? He unblocks me the next morning. I wake up from a text. Good morning, beautiful. How are you?
Was it an accident or what happened?
Did you fucking fall on the block button? What are you doing? So then he goes, oh, I just like was kind of nervous and I thought I couldn't trust you, but like now I can. It's fine.
What made him not trust you? And then what made him all of a sudden trust you again?
I know. I don't know. I didn't even say anything. Like he knew I had the podcast. He watched the episode, early to when we were talking. And it was like one of my like most graphic episodes. Like one of my whole chronicle stories. So it's like, I'm not sure what all of a sudden made him not trust me. Like I said something, but it had nothing to do with another guy. It had nothing to do with me not talking to him. I was only talking to him. And I'm normally not like that. Like I'm not like, if it gets serious with someone, I'll talk to that one person. But if it's like you text me good morning and you text me good night and we barely talk in between, you can't expect me to be the only person I'm talking to because I know I'm not the only person you're talking to within your 12-hour time span. I know you're talking to other bitches. I'm not stupid. Like, I'm not dumb. And so I was only talking to him. I like literally unadded a bunch of guys. I was like, I'm talking to someone seriously, whatever. And then he unblocked me and then we were fine for like 2 days. And then I had worked at a bakery for a quick second. Check out By the Dozen in Woodstock. They're awesome. I just couldn't be on my feet all day. Fuck that. But it was awesome. But anyway, I was my first day and I'm texting him and he's like, oh, baby, have a great day. He woke up at 6 a.m. when he had to be up at like 4 p.m. for work. Just to tell me to have a good day. So we're talking, and then I send him a picture on Snapchat, blocks me all of a sudden again. How do I have time to cheat on you? I'm in the parking lot of my business, of my work. Like, what do you think I'm doing? You think I'm selling a guy a donut and then asking if he wants to, like, come to the back? Like,
right. Free blowjob with every donut.
Yeah, right. Like,
so let me ask you this. So he lives, you said 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Right. So he lives 3 hours away.
Right.
You guys know each other like barely, really.
Yeah.
And this weird not trusting scenario is already happening. That's a red flag.
Right. So then I was like, whatever.
So now I'm going like this. Now, Kelsey, you know me. I'm very transparent. I'm going to throw it at you.
Right.
I'm going to hit you now. Right?
Yeah.
Is it you just making bad decisions?
It like might be. And like he like didn't have a car, like he like didn't even know how to drive. He was legal, but he didn't know how to do he didn't know how to drive. And so I was like, okay, so maybe this is stupid because I'm not going to drive 3 hours every weekend to stay at your mom's house and like hang out and then.
Oh, he lives with mommy.
Right. Yeah. He lives with mom and he doesn't have a good relationship with mom, doesn't have a good relationship with his sisters. Ugh. Like, so I'm like, okay, maybe he is the problem. Like now I'm starting to realize like, okay, this guy seems like he's the problem.
Well, how did you both think that this was going to work?
I think I was in La La Land. I think we both really liked each other. And I think it was just kind of, we were both naive and stupid. And we were like, oh no, we'll make it work. We'll do what we're doing now. We'll FaceTime every day. We'll text all the time. And then every couple months I'll come see you, I think we were just living in Barbie land fairy tale universe. And then we just like didn't. But anyway, so then after that, I went boy sober for a quick second again. Boy sober, where I still talk to guys, but I just don't go on dates. I don't hook up with people, whatever.
What do you call that?
Boy sober.
I gotta write that down because that's a new terminology I've never heard of.
Yeah, so me and my friends and like the internet pretty much calls it boy sober, where you just like, people do it where they're like stone cold sober. Like, unless you're my guy friend, I'm not talking to you. Like, they delete all their apps. They don't go on any dates. Any situationship that they've talked to is just done, which is evidently what I did last year. And it worked for me. I was like so much happier. Everything was fine. So I like deleted Tinder and Hinge. Finally, I'm like done. I like will go on it. I'll like relapse and I'll like go on it for a second and then delete it, but I don't talk to anyone from it.
I'm just gonna take a peek.
Right, but I don't like full blown like let's go on a date, blah blah blah.
Right.
And then Facebook dating, I'm still on because half the time those guys don't live in Illinois. Mm. So then I feel like talking to them just to have someone to talk to, but I know I'm not gonna date the guy who lives in Canada or Ontario or Nashville, Tennessee, because that's just not sustainable. That's just not going to work.
No, it's farther than
like some people can do distance. I can't. My first adult relationship, like actual, you're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend, should not be a long distance relationship. It should be like we go on dates. We have that physical connection. We have that like spiritual in like we spend time together, you know? It's not fair to me. It's cutting myself short, I feel like. So like I don't care about talking to them because half the time they're just like, I want to see your butt, and that's like it.
Right.
And so I'll talk to them, and then we talk, and then it's like, oh, okay, like one of us either unadds each other, we never talk again, and they're in like my Snapchat graveyard, you know? Like, so I don't mind being on Facebook dating because I know it's not going to lead to anywhere actually serious. And half the time, all the people I meet on there are fucking crackpots. So, like they are like literally like that guy who blocked me on and off. He was from there. Like all these crazy guys. I was talking to a guy the other day. He's like, "Do you want to FaceTime?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." I'm like hungover, which we'll get there. It was like my 22nd birthday night. I'm lucky I didn't end up in a tree. And I get home, I like literally like strip naked. I take off my makeup. I'm sitting in my bed. I'm about to puke. I like have to fistful eat Cheez-Its. I wake up the next morning. I look like I got hit by a semi truck. And I never drink like that. Like I have drinking like that twice this summer, and that's like it. I don't drink normally. I don't smoke weed anymore. Like I'm very like sober most of the time.
We're just going to start calling that naked Cheez-It drunk.
Naked Cheez-It drunk.
Right.
Exactly. Right. And so I'm like, this guy, it's like 8 a.m. and I like randomly wake up to like hit my vape and go back to bed. And he's like, oh, like, do you want to FaceTime? And I'm like, sure. And he's like cute or whatever. So we FaceTime. It's very evident that he likes to hear his own voice.
No.
And so he was just like talking. Then he's like telling me about like God. And I'm like, okay, like I'll listen to him. You know, I'm not like super religious, but I'm like, whatever. If that's his jam.
Sure.
I'll listen. Right. And then all of a sudden he goes, yeah, I just got out of jail for attempted murder.
Nice. Well, you just seem to, you know, when you cast out your fishing line, you're just pulling in like devilfish all day.
I know.
That's what it is.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, huh? I'm like, you what? And he's like, had a good lawyer. This guy, like, you know, like assaulted my friend. So I went to his house and I shot him.
Oh, that's, you know, that's.
And I was like, that's crazy.
His friend, not even like his mom or.
No, like just like his friend, which like I get it. Like the guy shouldn't have assaulted her, but damn, like 3 bullets. I was like, that's crazy. And so he like all the times like, do you want to FaceTime? I'm like, get busy.
Right.
Like, and he's nice, but it's just like attempted murder, nice, and not really working out for me.
It's
like,
not Kevlar dating.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's like I'm asking to be on Dateline.
Right.
Like, so
right.
Anyway, so we have a segment that we're doing today called A Big Piece of Advice that we started a little while ago. And my friend asked me, my friend from the psych ward, love you, girl. She asked me, do you believe in right person, wrong time? Fuck no, I don't. Like, I have been with people, or one guy specifically, that I thought it's just not our time, but like, you know, if it comes back, like, I do love you. And then I realized, like, if he was the right guy,
it would be the right time.
It would be the right time. Right. Because, like, there are times that people break up, get back together, and then they end up being together forever, whatever. That does happen. But in the everyday world, I can guarantee that all the losers and all the assholes and all the jerks and all the, like, even nice guys I've been out with, they're not my person. Because if they were my person, don't you think I'd still be with them? No. We already had a chance.
So let me give you a scenario.
Yeah,
okay.
You
tell me if that works in that structure, okay? Let's say you met, I'll throw out a name. You met Tom.
Okay.
You're like, wow. You guys you got so much in common. You're hitting it off and everything else, and you're like totally compatible, right? But you found out that Tom recently lost his wife to cancer. He's the right person. Is it the right time? Probably not.
See, I think that even though I agree that, like, that seems like, oh, like, everything was so great, like, but he just lost his wife, you know, wrong time. I just don't think he's the right person. Because I'm very big on, like, the universe will bring you someone who is the right person. Okay. And it is the right time, you know? But I agree with what you're saying. Like, sometimes it's just like, shit.
Well, let's
like,
just
I wish
Tom,
this worked out.
Let's just say Tom tells you, I really want to be with you, but I need time.
then I can respect that. Then then I'm down for that. Like if they communicate and they say like, I want to do this, I just need some time, and it's a situation like that, I'm in for it, you know. But
what is the cap on time? If that was the case, what would your cap be? A year?
I think my cap would be depending on when we're in communication. Because like if we're in communication for a while and we decide to be friends, and if it feels right later, then I don't think there is a cap. Like it'll just be when the vibes are right, and if the vibes never get there, then they never get there, and it wasn't meant to be.
Now, if you think that it is meant to be, and you think that it is going to happen, are you still out looking?
I guess I don't know. I guess I've like never been in that situation, so I wouldn't know.
Right.
Because there are times that I've talked to other people when things weren't so serious, but I really loved someone else, and it really was just like a filler because I couldn't be with that person, whatever the situation may be. Yeah. But realistically, my cap would be like 6 months.
So
6 to 8
what I'm
months.
throwing at you is really a specialty style.
Right. It's like
so 90%
by case
we'll
scenario.
Say 90-10, right? Like
yeah.
There's a 10% chance that right person, wrong time, but 90% of the time it's going to
it's just that person's just not your person.
It's not your person.
Because like there was a guy that I was like seriously like I thought that I was like so in love with him, and we went out on like 4 dates, and we were together for like a week and a half, and I could not get over him for, when I tell you, legitimately like 3 years. I liked him so much, and I really thought he was gonna like be my boyfriend. He treated me so good, like, but then he would be like weird when we texted. He would like leave me undelivered for like a whole day, and then he'd be like, I'm sorry, something came up. But I like truly believe that like this will be my boyfriend and we are like in love. And then he ghosted me like out of nowhere. And then I was like heartbroken for years. Then I found him recently on Facebook. And then I reached out and we were talking, and now he lives in fucking Salt Lake City, Utah. So now it's like, well, it really wasn't my person, you know, because then he told me that he moved right when he ghosted me, he moved. So I'm like, I wish you kind of would have told me that, but it's like, it wouldn't have worked out anyway. Even if he didn't ghost me, he moved to Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah. And like, they have crazy laws out there. Like, I wouldn't survive out there. Like, not like I do anything crazy, but like, still, those laws are like insane.
Yeah, you don't do anything crazy.
I can like
right. Not anymore, at least. Right. And so good segment, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Love it. Now you also had a segment where it was like Ask Kelsey or Kelsey's Corner. Have you had any recent? Because it's been a minute since we've been on air.
Yeah, I haven't really, because I think I didn't get the microphone from you. Because I know we were going to do like a little corner street kind of segment. And I also haven't been going out to do that.
Well, you were asking people to hit you on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, if you guys do have any questions, you can hit my Instagram at kel.b2002 for a big piece of advice. So you can send in advice and questions you have. And then this segment we'll do, pretty early on into the episode, because I don't want to make the whole episode about it. But, early on, I want to like get people hooked,
Yeah, well, and I think people might actually watch you. I mean, you get a lot of views.
Yeah.
I think people would probably have some questions. And we'll obviously filter that out because there's going to be a lot of idiots out there.
How much do you weigh? Right. Right. Half as much.
Captain Comment.
Right. Half as much as your mom, by the way. And your dad doesn't seem to mind either. So.
No, right.
Right.
I love it. Jerry. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So what was the big thing for the summer? What was the?
Oh my God. So, okay. Basically this summer, after that guy and I like kind of ended things, he told me he didn't want me to have short hair. So I immediately went and got my hair cut. Like super short, not super short, but you guys know it was like down here, and now it's like
I noticed.
Yeah, so I got that chopped.
I just figured it was hot out,
and like I have a very thin but a lot of hair, so it's like even though it once it gets really long, it'll get really knotty in the summer and really humid, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Because this summer I have been big depressed. Like this summer has been rough. Like my grandma passed like 3 months ago.
Yeah, my condolences.
Oh, thank you. And she was like my best friend for like so long. So I've been like dealing with that. And then just like on top of that, I like gained this like really bad anxiety where I was like kind of hermit crabbing myself and I wouldn't leave my house, which is not like me. You know, I am, and I am going out doing X, Y, and Z. I am like all over the town. Like I go out everywhere and do anything. And I was like, I would get anxiety to like leave the house to like go get a coffee. And like, so I started like going to therapy more and I've been like working a lot on myself and it's been really helping. I've been like setting goals and actually doing them because me and my therapist, she's like a bestie. So like we'll FaceTime all the time. If we don't have, like if we have a session, I'll do like a, whatever it is, like a WebEx, which is like FaceTime essentially instead of going in. And like we'll set goals and I, like I said, I actually do them. Like before I'd set goals and we'd be like, hey, no, I really didn't work on it, but here's what's going on, you know? Now I'm like actually setting goals. I'm actually, right. I have like, I'm like doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I started group therapy for, it's a self-esteem group. And that's been good, but it also has been, kind of triggering at some points. Like we've been doing like some exercises that I'm like, oh wow, I don't like that. Like one of the exercises we had to do was like fill in the blank. So it was like, I wish so bad to be. And then I was like skinny. So that was like the first question, and there was like 25. So I'm like,
rust off of what you already buried.
Right. I'm like, oh, so that's how that's gonna go. Then the next question was, my biggest fear is, I'm like, dying alone. And then it just was like, and everyone else on the group was like, obviously I'm keeping it confidential, and I don't really know a lot of their names anyway, because they're like not blacked out. But anyway, a lot of people were like, oh, this was so healthy for me. I like realized so much I needed to work on. And I'm like in tears. I'm like, hey, I hated this exercise and made me feel like shit. And now I'm going to like crawl into bed for the next 5 days, you know? So, but I've been like really good about getting out again and like seeing friends and going to see my mom every week. And like, cause I live with my dad. So like I see my mom and stepdad once a week and well, my mom twice a week, but we'll have dinner together during the week. So I've been like good about going and doing that, like making sure I make every therapy appointment, like seeing my friends at least 3 times a week. Like my best friend Bree, I see that bitch all the time. Like I see her like as much as we can. If we're free, we're together. So like that's been nice because my whole friend group took like a tank, a real bad tank. Like that shit got nuked, which I'm not going to talk about it publicly on here because people are just going to go ape shit on that. And I'm not looking like to destroy everything, but even without the fight that I had with them, it was going down south anyway. So it's like I didn't have as many friends in the summer. So it was like, I saw who, you know, not valued, but who valued my time. Yeah. Like, and that was fun.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So you know, there's succubuses out there that will, and I'm going to use the word molest. They molest your time. Yeah. Right. There's several with me. And so as a producer and an owner of the studios, it's, hey, I want this or I want that, but don't want to pay the bill. Right. And then they complain. And so it's like, you're going to complain about having a free show and then demand. Right. Like my time isn't valued. Right. So in the friend world, people don't realize, because everybody, listen, most of the world, people think about themselves.
Oh, of course.
If people were learned to, you have to take care of yourself first. Don't get me wrong. Once again, you know, if you don't take care of yourself, who can you actually help? And if you want to help other people, you can't help yourself. There's a problem there, right? Yeah. So, and so you ever have the friend where you're talking to them about maybe something exciting that you did, and you can see it in their eyes that they're not even really listening to you, but they're thinking about the next thing they're going to say about them. Yeah. And then I realized that a lot of those people in that friend group, that was the case. So here, this is, and so listen, Drew Cappuccino here. I have a handbook, right? Yeah. And it goes back to acquaintance, friends,
Right, exactly, which we talked about on an episode
Absolutely.
before.
We talked about it before. So your friend group is not your acquaintance group. Because you don't have to let them go out of your life.
Yeah, and there's like a few people I still talk to.
Or whatever.
Right, and there's
your focus isn't going to be on them anymore.
No.
Much, right?
Like,
because
there's like people I still consider friends and then acquaintance. And then there's a few people that I'm like, don't ever fucking talk to me again.
Right.
Like, I definitely have my people where I literally have said, never talk to me again. And I am like very heavy on that. Yeah. So it's like, and some of it I was just on ad or we'll talk later. And then there were some people from the group I just full blown blocked. And was like, if you want to know how I'm doing, you can tune in at 216 Creative Studios.
Thanks for watching.
Right, exactly. But let's see. Okay. Next segment, what I think is hot right now. So I've been reading a lot this summer. I guess not like a ton, but I had finished this book series. Well, I didn't finish the whole series. I finished the second book in the series. And it's called the Salacious Players Club. And it's essentially like this like kink club that these people own. And they all have like forbidden romances. So like the first book, the girl like ended up with her ex-boyfriend's dad. And then the second book, like, it's just like crazy shit, which like obviously none of that is like in my life happening, but like it's just like funny to like, I don't know, it's just the way the author writes. I think it's Sarah Kate who writes the books. They're just so incaptivating. Like I burned through them in like days. So I've been reading that. I'm in the middle of Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and my book girlies are gonna know that's a very popular book, and it like destroys people's lives. They like get together at the end, I'm sure, because I'm like a quarter through, but it's just so good. Like reading is such a guilty pleasure of mine. Like I just feel like smarter when I'm done. I feel like accomplished. Like even if I've done nothing all day and I haven't left my house, if I picked up a book and read a chapter, I feel good.
Nice.
And it's like I read like self-help books. I read like I want to start reading like a linguistics for French books. Like I want to learn about contemporary art. Like it like drives me to do things. And I also love my silly forbidden romances.
Sure.
And my dark romances and the fluffy ones, like it just, I don't know, it like is something to me. So I think reading is hot this summer.
Well, so reading is good. A lot of people don't do that anymore. I'm old fashioned. If I pick up a book, I'm actually getting a paper book, right?
Right. Yeah. Same.
I had a couple friends about 5, maybe 6 years ago were like they were big readers, right?
Yeah.
And they were big into personal development.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff Lord. They were telling me about all this stuff. And so I was like, how cool can it be? I'm a sci-fi nerd. I love watching movies. I'm like, I'll wait till that gets to a movie guy, right?
Yeah.
And so I picked up a book and I read it and I was like, if it keeps my attention, I'm good.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, I'm like all over the map. I can't. And then it deters me from reading. So you just keep going and find something else that's going to keep me going. But now I'm avid. I like to read.
That's awesome.
And there's a lot of great things out there that not only help you, but give you a different mindset on how to treat others.
Yeah,
and really what you're here for. So, and then I go right into like a sci-fi book. That's your dark novel, right?
Right. Yeah.
Sci-fi. I don't want to think about real shit anymore. I want to think about fantasy and not think about what I got to do tomorrow and how much money is what.
Right, so, exactly. Yeah, so I love that. I love reading.
Awesome.
Also farmers markets. I love farmers markets.
They're fun.
Okay, something about like just like throwing on like a little tote bag and like throwing on like a cute outside outfit, and then me and my mom just like walking around a farmers market and getting all these fruits and vegetables and fresh bread. Like it is so serotonin boosting. If I could go to every fucking farmer's market on the planet, I would. Like I want to go to like one that's like antique, like also like a fashion one too, where they have like little jewelry. I love getting like jewelry from places like that
little
too.
Crafters.
Yeah, like and I went to the Milwaukee Public Market for my birthday, which we're gonna get to me turning 22 in a second, but we went to this place called Tupelo Honey or something, Tupelo Honey.
Yeah.
And we had like really good like chicken and waffles, and we had I had this strawberries and cream margarita or strawberries and cream mimosa. Whew, I like downed it. And because I only knew I was getting the one drink, and I was like, it's not gonna make me drunk, it's one little mimosa. So I was sipping it, and then I was taking big gulps of it. Next thing I know, I'm red in the face, sweating. I have to have diarrhea right now.
Oh God!
I'm in the bathroom praying. I'm on my phone. Forget that I'm in there. I'm oh my God! My mom and her best friend are out
waiting.
there, literally. But we went there, and then we went to the public market, and there's this guy. I need to find his flower handle. He has this little flower stand in the public market right when you walk in, and he has all these beautiful flowers, and he makes your arrangement. You pick your flowers, and then he makes it.
He hooks it up.
And
nice.
And I told him I picked a menthol rose, so it was a mint rose, and then I picked a princess rose because duh. And my middle name is Rose. Hello. And it was big and pink. And then I was do whatever you want with the rest. And I do it every year. Every year I go to the public market in Milwaukee. I've been doing it since last year. I tell him 3 flowers. The rest I say, go crazy. And then he's oh, what's your price range? I'm $25, $30, $26. And I got the most gorgeous bouquet last year and this year. It's less than $30. And the bouquet is this big. He has eucalyptus and mint and all these wildflowers. And I always get a muted one somehow. So they're oh, it's just gorgeous. And what's hot too? Flowers. I love flowers. Getting flowers, going to flower markets, just pictures of flowers, jewelry with flowers, clothes with flowers. I just love it. So it's that was just outstandingly amazing.
It's awesome.
And also my last thing for what's hot is Gracie Abrams' album. Do you know who that is?
No.
You know Taylor Swift.
Yep.
It's the girl who's opening for her on the Eras tour.
Yeah.
For some of her shows. She, to me, is literally one of my favorite female artists that has ever lived this earth. Her songs are so gut-wrenchingly beautiful, and her lyricism is just out of this world. She has a song called her first big song was I Miss You, I'm Sorry or something. Then on this album it's I Love You, I'm Sorry. But she has a song called Free Now, and if I could react to a song, I wish I was on camera when I first heard that song. I literally was I was what is going on? I cannot do this. But anyway, tune into that album. I don't know what it's called, but it's Gracie Abrams' album.
I'll have to check her out.
No, she's really good. That song is crazy. Okay. We're gonna, for the last 10 minutes, this is what we're gonna talk about.
All right.
My 22nd birthday, which we kind of already got into.
Woo!
Woo! Woo, woo. I was gonna do a whole episode 22 things I learned in my 22 years, but that'll take a million years. So I was fuck it, we'll just talk about it. So basically, on my actual birthday, me, Emerson, and Bree, who are 2 of my best friends, we went to Windhill Pancake, which I used to work there. Fun fact. I was the worst waitress to ever live, but I racked in those tips. But I worked there for 2 months and cried and quit. But anyway, so they made it really special there too, because I had a good relationship with a lot of people who worked there. They brought me a cupcake with a sparkler, and they sang to me. They're we miss you so much. And I was oh. So we went there. My friends got me gifts, and then we went to Summer Moon, my favorite coffee shop ever. And then I went to my mom's, and we did just dinner and cake and stuff, but they surprised me with the cake and presents. My mom ended up getting a big vintage heart cake that was fresh whipped cream and peach on the inside. And it was it had pink roses on it. And it was oh, happy birthday, Kelsey. It was so cute.
That's
I cried.
Awesome.
So we ate that and everything. And then during the week, I would see friends kind of here and there. And I'm going on vacation this weekend. So y'all watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out, Wisconsin Dells. Big Mama's in town. Right. Catch me at that swim up bar.
People soup.
Right. And then on Saturday, we went to Heaven on Earth, and that is Bandito's Barney Beach Club.
It's a great place.
I've never been.
And that's a free plug, by the way.
Yeah, not sponsored by Banditos.
Right.
They don't need to sponsor me.
But I'll give it to them because they do have.
They
food,
just do it so
drinks,
good. Their food
bands.
is so good. Their
is.
loaded tots. Oh my god, they are so good.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys are in Northern Illinois, East Dundee, Banditos Barney Beach Club, you need to go.
That's right.
But it is like a drive-through of men, by the way. I have never been there where I've not been hit on, I don't think. Like, it is like the first time I went there, I got hit on 5 times in 2 hours.
Wow.
And they just come up to you. Like, I don't know why they have like the balls of like King Kong here. They literally you'll be mid talking to someone and they walk up and they're like, hey, I'm Adam. And I'm like, oh, hey, whatever. Have you had you don't drink, right?
I don't drink. No.
Well, they have this shot called a beach bomb, which is like, I don't know what is in it, but it is like tropical nectar. It is like delicious. So my friends and I go and
it tastes like sun tanning in Hawaii.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so my friends go, like 4 or 5 of my friends go, and we all get there and they have like bucket drinks and they pour heavy at Banditos. That's the thing, people drink 2 of the buckets. That's it. If you drink more than that, you will have diarrhea in the bathroom. Well, definitely Uber. Definitely Uber. My dad drove us and then my friend's girlfriend took us home. And so I had a bucket drink. And then instead of having more drinks most of the night, all my friends decided, let's just do shots the rest of the night. So
good God.
We had like 5 shots.
I remember those days.
And one of my ex-situationships was like aggravating me. So I literally like stopped texting him and I like go to the bar. I like take a shot. And then I'm like, I'm like walking back and I'm like, ooh. Like, I'm like, okay.
Is the building moving? Or
I know. I'm like,
right.
ooh, it's like getting hot out here. And so me and my one friend got like low-key bombed. And then we're walking back to the car and my friend had these like goggles in her car. So we put them on me and it's like the sweat is like in the nose piece.
Oh God.
And my friend Bree takes a picture and I'm like in the camera. And then, it was fun. It was like a really good time. And then
sounds like fun.
Yeah. And then I'm hitting up the Dells this weekend. It was a great birthday. It was truly just, my birthday is my favorite day of the year. And I will not hide that.
No.
Like
Why would you?
Right. Like some people are like, one of my childhood best friends, Quinn, was like, what's your favorite holiday? And I go, my birthday. She's like, shut up. I'm like, I'm serious.
Right.
Like, and she knows that. Like, everyone who's met me at least one time knows my birthday is like my own personal Christmas. Like, I love my birthday. Like,
There's
it's just
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Right. And it's like, to me, it's like the one day a year where everyone puts everything aside and there's like no problems. And it's just a wonderful day about me.
I feel guilty on my birthday. I usually go, I have a hard time
really
thinking about like me and why is everything you know what I mean? It makes me feel weird and uncomfortable. But as I got older, and I am old, it gets to the point where it's like, nah, motherfucker, you need to think about me because I'm done. I earned my stripes in this world.
Yeah.
So my mindset has changed a little bit.
Mine has always been like, it's my birthday.
And it's an excuse for anybody. You could do whatever the fuck you want. And then everybody else can shut the fuck up about it.
I know. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite part about my birthday. And like, and it was just really chill and really fun. And like, it was just like a good old time.
That's awesome.
And I loved it. And it was great. I'm still eating that damn cake. Like, that cake was huge. Like, I'll go home and I'm like, all right, I'm going to like eat good. I'm going to have like fruit. I'm going to have some toast, Yep. Then that cake looks me in the face. And then I'm like, damn it. Like, I'm going to have the cake. Right. And then I like have this like gigantic piece of cake. And then my dad's like, damn. And I'm like.
It's like carrots, celery, cake. Well, I mean.
I'm like, starts with C. Most of the vegetables start with a
That's
C.
Right. Hey, listen.
There's peaches in it.
There's natural things in there. It's healthy.
Yeah, there's peaches in it. Fruit.
We got. I'm a pie guy.
Really? I'm like I'm a cheesecake guy.
So listen, I had my in-laws over for a dinner. Like we rolled up some food or whatever.
Nice.
They were gonna bring. I guess they were gonna bring something from Jewel.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were supposed to bring dessert. So I'm out at the farm, and it's like peach season, and they made the pie was hot, Kels. The pie was still fucking hot. My daughter comes up to me. She's like, hold this. I was like, oh my God, it's still hot. And it smelled amazing.
At Stotty's?
Tom's.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, we're buying this. And then my daughter goes, well, her sister, Kaylee, she's like, oh, she doesn't like pie. I'm like, God damn it. And then I looked and they got homemade New York style cheesecake. So I was like, all right, get that too. So I got both, right? So after dinner, my wife's like, hey, did you want pie or cheesecake? And I was like, yes.
You said both.
Yeah, I didn't even say both. I was like,
Yes, correct.
Whipped cream strawberries on that cheesecake, please.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
I tell you what, I was in a bliss of heaven. Because I
love
got
sweets.
issues in my 50s, not skinny either. And so try to watch my sugar levels and stuff like that. But when you get a chance to eat something you absolutely love, limit.
I'm fucking eating it.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, that can't be every minute.
Right. And it's like
moderation's key.
Right. Like on my birthday, I had a big piece of cake. And now recently I've been having like a little piece.
You're starting to narrow back down, and then you start to look at those carrots and be like, I hate you, but I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. Right. But I just love sweets, but chips are my shit.
Chips
get me. Yeah. And it's terrible. But I just every time I'm like, God, I love you, chips.
Wow, the time went fast, Kelsey.
It did, but I was gonna say, that's all I got this week.
Awesome.
But yeah, we'll tune into another episode. We'll probably do 2 episodes in August because Mama's going back to school, getting that degree.
Yeah. And, we're doing a lot of pre-records now anyway, so you always have one in the bucket for your fans to be out there and watching you. Listen, guys, if you like what you see, make sure you go to that YouTube channel at 216 Creator Studios. Like, share, subscribe. Ding that bell. That way you get the future notifications of Bigger Buddy. Big mouth, bigger body, bigger mouth. I don't know. I always screw it up.
You know what I mean.
That's like me just creating names now. That's what I do. Also, listen, Kelsey Show is awesome. If you would like to be on it, remote or whatever, feel free to sponsor it. We have several sponsoring packages. If you're interested in sponsoring her show, feel free to reach out to info@216thenet.com. That's info@216thenet.com. We bid you a great day.
Bye, guys.
Great seeing you again, Kels.
Oh, you too, Drew. I'm happy to be here.
Always looking forward to your show. I look forward to your show because it's so fun for me. It's not so like we're business.
Yeah.
It's a little more fun. And
I'm so glad.
So yeah, here at 216 Creator Studios. Until next time, folks.
Bye.